Good morning, Catherine. Third example of a CEO. And I took CEOs who, or examples of CEOs who inspired me, and there are many more, but I have looked at and how I could gain some hints, some tips, some inspiration on how to lead myself as a CEO, as well as where I thought, I have this in this situation, let me have a look at how this person dealt with it. And I can only recommend to you to have also your own library of past, former, late, existing CEOs, you name it, where you can get where you can extract your inspiration to move forward. So again, here to set the scene, it is about what are the expectations with regard to the role, but how can you manage their perceptions and their own frame of reference. And I'm talking about your stakeholder network support. I think that this is one of the most crucial elements. It has nothing to do with visibility. Visibility is a byproduct of you having a stakeholder network, support network, period. So now today, let me have a look at, together with you, on Julie Sweet, about Julie Sweet. She is a legal person. And Julie Sweet, the CEO of Accenture. And Accenture is a very interesting company because since many decades, Accenture buys, I think, between 10, let's say, in average 10 firms per year. So they're steadily, over the years, they became one of the largest technology firms. And how can you manage the acquisition of so many companies, so many directions, also so many competencies that all these companies are bringing? How can you keep that consistency and put everything under the umbrella of Accenture? So this is something I have always been fascinated at. So when Julie Sweet was named as CEO, I was somehow, I wanted to know how she would do with it, because she's when she started as CEO, she was, at least from the outside, she was a very reserved, with very little, her gestures were very controlled, pretty narrow, and she was not like a Jeannie Rometty, for instance, and we will be talking also about her. So she rose to become a successful CEO through hard work and dedication. And I think that this is a phrase I came across on the internet about her, and I totally agree, because if you see her now, like in Davos last week or this week, she was feeling really comfortable, and she doesn't have, these large movements, body language, but you feel the strength in her and this strong willpower without her expressing her body so much. So she found her footprint, she found her voice. And she was able, I did my research, and she was able to build a strong relationship with her stakeholders and with her board. So you see, you have always these two elements, board, stakeholders. And I think that this is a hallmark of hers. She has been always very transparent and honest in her dealings. And in doing so, she created a strong and trusting relationship with people. her working with her board and creating it or shaping her board of directors, she made always sure that they were supportive of her vision and mission. So she's very much of the person who wants to achieve a vision and a direction, and she knows where to go to. And she is looking to get this support. So she brought in highly qualified professionals and created with them a shared vision and mission of Accenture. And she is someone, because she's a person who really thinks about before she speaks. I mean, she thinks before she speaks. So she was able to foster that culture of trust and respect. And she was really working on that. And think about that. If you have several 100,000 people around the globe, you cannot have such a successful company over so many decades. Okay, she took it over when, I think it was in mid-2010-ish. But the culture of trust and respect needs to be there, right? And no, because she is definitely, or I think that she is a control freak. She is someone who loves to have things under control because of the complexity of the structure of the firm. She apparently implemented also a performance evaluation system and an incentive system, which both enabled her to make sure her team was on the same page and that they were meeting the goals set by her and the board. So you see, this is another way of making sure that you have your stakeholder support network aligned with your own nature, aligned with your character. And coming back to Julie Sweet, her passion and dedications to her work, but also her ability to create a strong network of stakeholders and a supportive board, enabled her to become a successful CEO. And also because she has a lot of visions. She knows where she is not a woman who's frightened to take on new challenges, technologies, and to embed them or make them, to bring them at the heart of Accenture. And I think that this is something which is absolutely relevant. And by the way, it is interesting to see that most of these CEOs also perform as external board members or are directors also of other boards, because it gives them also additional perspectives, perceptions, frame of references. I hope that this was also instructive and informative for you on how you can shape your own style and why maybe to have a library of CEOs that inspire you can be of some great help. Thank you. See you in the next video.